Dr. Agashe. Welcome to Indian Link, the fourth Marathi film festival that's happening in Australia. And I know that you are especially here for that particular festival. And this year, the festival has this theme of focusing on mental health. And is doing a retrospective on Marathi filmmakers, Sumitra Bhave ji, who was known for social issue-based films that had a huge impact. Apart from being in movies as an actor and producer, you are also a psychiatrist. And how responsible did you feel to tell these stories?
Let me start with little correction.
Mm-hmm.
Though we say it's a Marathi film festival, that's slightly a misnomer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a film festival,
right,
which has spoken language as Marathi, but the film language is much richer than the spoken language.
Mm-hmm.
One. Two, as you rightly mentioned, it's not exactly on mental health, it's about life. And health is an integral part of life.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't enjoy life unless you are healthy. And there is no problem of health which doesn't have mental component.
Right.
In fact, there is actually no health better than mental health. Because if you're mentally good and fit, even if you're physically disabled, you can completely enjoy your life and get full experience of life.
Right.
But if you're mentally not that well, and even if you're physically so-called fit, you cannot get same things from life. So let me put it like this. I have come with a package of films made by Sumitra Bhave, who realized the potential of cinema for not only entertainment, but beyond entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It entertains, no doubt,
Right.
but it's entertainment plus.
Mm-hmm.
It was her accidental finding that when you are watching film, you are also passively receiving information.
Mm-hmm.
And if that information is scientifically correct, then it adds to your fund of knowledge.
Absolutely.
So it's an important source of learning depending upon what films you choose to see.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's exactly like the books. You can learn from books provided if you choose the books from which you can learn. And these are not only textbooks.
Right.
Because textbooks are pretty boring. And the reason for that is all textbooks don't have any subtext.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas life is full of subtext. Life is full of emotions.
Right.
Textbook is without emotions. It's only in so-called intelligence. It's
Yeah.
not only intelligence, it's called cognition.
Uh-huh.
And in cognition, you can be good or you can be bad. And every
Absolutely.
book is not only cognitive,
Mm-hmm.
it's also emotional. In our life, what matters best for health,
Mm-hmm.
harmony between your emotional life and intellectual life. Because your intellectual life helps you to cope with the realities of the world,
Right.
which are not necessarily happy,
Mm-hmm.
particularly these days when you live in environments which are not necessarily very healthy.
Right.
Right? All films which I have brought of
Mm-hmm.
Sumitra,
Mm-hmm.
though for purpose of learning and purpose of classification and for purpose of cognitive understanding,
Mm-hmm.
we will say one film deals with the issue of depression and suicide
Right.
in young people. But what film deals with is not the informative film on medicine, it's
Mm-hmm.
about experience. of being depressed and the process of recovery of depression.
Right.
So it's not only about depression, it's about understanding depression, understanding the process, understanding the ways to come out of it,
Mhm.
and understanding for others what is the effect of empathy,
Right.
the term which we use but hardly practice.
Hardly practice, yeah.
Self-centered.
But doctor, don't you think that there has been a progress when we are talking about mental wellness? There has been a progress as compared to old times when people would brush it under the carpet, won't talk about it. Things were very hush hush. Uh, I I think we have come a long way. We've started talking about it or sharing the fact that we are not okay. What do you think? How much more will it take for us to normalize this?
Okay.
We're not okay. Or
Now that you say we have progressed, and to a certain extent, you're right.
Mhm.
But even as of today, there are medical conditions which have stigma,
Right.
which we can't refuse.
Mhm.
It may not be open, it's hidden under
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
In private, we still say we don't want to.
Right.
We want to avoid
Mhm.
talking and understanding such issues.
Mhm.
For instance, HIV,
Mhm.
for instance, leukodema,
Mhm.
for instance, schizophrenia or psychotic disorders,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Earlier, we did not acknowledge because we didn't know.
Right.
So ignorance is different.
Mhm.
Now we are not ignorant,
Mhm.
but we don't accept it. We don't accept a minor ailment like anxiety or
Mhm.
depression, like we accept common cold or cough.
Right.
So if we can accept that being hot and cold
Mhm.
is natural and depending on season, we must also learn to accept that to feel good, to feel happy, to feel unhappy, to feel angry is not abnormal
Right.
unless you cross certain threshold.
Mhm.
So either it is bad for you and bad for others.
Mhm. Mhm.
So what decides whether something is illness or not is whether because of it you are suffering or you are enjoying.
Right.
And there, what you say is correct. There is a stigma because it's not 100% conscious and subconscious acceptance of it.
Mhm.
Cognitively, we accept, but emotionally, we don't accept. And
That's
that's very difficult to make films on such a subject
Mhm.
which help you to reduce stigma, which helps you to clear misunderstanding.
I was meaning to ask you about Date, your endeavor about developing awareness through entertainment. Tell us more about it. Like, what are your plans with Date, and where do you want to take it?
Plans. I've been practicing it since I realized the utility of cinema for education.
Mm,
So, DATE stands, as you said, developing awareness through entertainment.
mm,
Best entertainment, quality entertainment. So,
okay.
not entertainment,
Mm-hmm,
healthy food. So, anybody who is interested in that can have a date with me.
mm-hmm.
Very simple. It's my precondition for dating.
Amazing. I also heard that you are completing Sumitra Bhave's last film, and you've taken the responsibility of completing it yourself
Yeah.
because you feel so much about
I'm
it.
not professionally, education wise, a producer.
Right.
I became producer by default in
Mm.
order to complete her film Astu,
Mm-hmm.
which Alzheimer is one of the best international films on the subject of Alzheimer.
Right.
And anybody who has an opportunity should see it.
Mm-hmm.
Then realize that this is the kind of cinema which I'm looking for.
Mm.
It can be a real audiovisual aid for becoming a better human being.
Right.
Only better for education,
Mm.
but better human being. Right. And so I did 3 or more films with her.
Mm.
Unfortunately, she died 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We were working on a script on elderly singles,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
which is a pressing problem today also,
Yeah.
because our uh, extended lifespan
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily offer us quality of life. Yeah, it is an extension of life, but not necessarily quality. So film deals with quality of life of elderly singles, and it's a fun. Yeah, he's 75, she's 73. It's not a story.
It's not a love story.
It's not a suspense story. It's not a thriller.
Okay.
Great thing which talks about what is quality of life.
Mhm. Amazing. I mean, it would be absolutely a delight to watch this film, as I can totally imagine the subject is.
With your luck permit, I have yesterday's star actress in it, Sharmila Tagore.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's me and Sharmila Tagore in the lead roles,
Amazing.
and plus a small puppy, which
Uh-huh.
is one of the main roles. Right?
Okay. And where do you plan to release it? Because there are online platforms, and online platforms are doing really well. But at the same time, I feel when you're talking about certain issue-based movies, um, the impact gets lost somewhere, because although there is reach, yes, but also there is this thing called the filter that these online platforms have. They show you movies based on your previous searches. So do you think the impact gets lost, or you are okay with the fact that it's reaching out to millions of people, even if it releases online?
Wonderful, wonderful question. I tell you, I'm going to wait till I finish the film. But finishing a film is like giving birth to a child.
Mm-hmm.
And what is going to become of that child, you never know. Because, like you said, with so many ATT platforms, it has become like a earlier marriage proposal.
Swayamvar.
One wife.
Swayamvar.
One OTT platform, others refuse you. So instead of OTT platform being friends, they behave like they are your spouses. And they don't allow you to go to other OTT platforms.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm able to release the film,
Yeah.
at least people have choice to go and see it in cinema house.
Mm-hmm.
On the whole, people are losing the habit of going to cinema houses,
Yeah.
and they want to see everything like we are seeing each other
Mm-hmm.
on. So I have to fight that. Let's see how it goes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Agashe, for talking to us.